It is a terrific Tuesday. I mean it. Terrific
Absolutely.
Tuesday.
You bet.
You know, something I've learned over the number of years that I've been on this earth. Telling the truth is not always easy. It's harder than fibbing. Fibbing usually means you're getting around something. Don't want to talk about it. Something that you don't want to be related to. It's addictive, fibbing. But telling the truth, you have to know that you're going to get some blowback, some kickback. And yesterday I went to the economic development meeting, Custer County Economic Development meeting, and it was brought up to me about me being honest yesterday about having to take my pants off and putting my boat on the trailer with my underwear on.
Yes.
At the lake on Sunday. There was no one at the lake. I was absolutely the only one there. Just me and the birds. Even saw a buzzard, which was a little unsettling.
Yikes.
But that was brought up to me, and so I have to put up with that now. People, yucking it up. Oh, that's a visual I don't need. Like the lady said yesterday.
Yeah.
White legs. What'd your legs, was they as white as the pelicans? Stuff like that. But I'm still glad I told the truth.
No, good.
And I'll still go to the argument, if you didn't hear it yesterday, that if I said, yeah, the water was shallow and I had to get into the water to get my boat on the trailer in my swimsuit, that would be acceptable.
But that would have been a fib.
It would have been. I would have fibbed. But then I wouldn't have taken any kickback from it. They go, oh, yeah, it's too bad that water was low. Was the water cold? Just because you say swimsuit instead of underwear. That's how fickle this world is. I don't get it. Tell the truth. You take kickback, blowback, criticism. Oh, yuck, yuck, chuckle.
I think the thing, though, here is that you got the boat on the trailer safely, and you got it home. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I agree. And if I would have said, I got the boat on safely, I got it home, but I had to put my swim trunks on to get my boat on the trailer, they go, well, yeah, water must be pretty low. What's the deal? But if I said, which I did, which is the truth, I took my pants off, and just in my underwear, I had to go out in the water and put the boat on. There's really not that much difference between underwear and briefs or whatever kind of underwear a man wears. There's several choices. But it just shows you that, folks, go ahead and tell the truth, even though there's some kickback and some retribution that you're going to have to deal with. But, if you have to take some guff for it, it's better than not telling the truth. And I'll stand by that.
Yeah.
You want to read the menus?
Sure. Yes, let's do that.
What's wrong with this world? Brent's.
I have so many questions I want to ask, but I'm just not going to go. I'm not going to do it.
Going to go to your island?
Yeah, probably.
Brent's little island.
You want to start or you want me to start with menus?
Oh, with menus. No, feel free to go ahead.
You want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay. School lunch menus for today, which happens to be the 22nd day of April. Cozad today, beef enchiladas, buffalo chicken bites with garlic toast, or the pizza bar. Some of your choices at Cozad.
Sloppy Joe's at Thetford today.
Let's see. Callaway today showing hamburgers today at Callaway School.
Sargent schools. We must remember this is Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a very important day, Earth Day.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about that in a little bit. It's fruit cup, sausage, cinnamon roll, and milk on this Earth Day at Sargent today, and some pancakes.
Broken Bow today made fresh chicken and noodles with dinner roll, baked pork fritter with dinner roll, fresh baked Italian turkey sub, and the grill station combo at Broken Bow today is a hot dog basket.
Calzones at Litchfield today. What are calzones?
Well, I know exactly what they are. Describing them is they're like it's kind of like a pizza, but it's folded over, and I know exactly what it is. I just don't exactly know how to describe it. You've never had a calzone?
I don't think so. It sounds more like an omelet.
It's like well.
Is it an omelet?
No, there's no. It's dough, and then you have like your pizza toppings on the inside.
Oh,
does that make sense?
Yeah, you fold it over.
You fold it over and you bake it, and they're delicious. Love them.
Well,
yeah, probably have marinara inside with. One of my favorite places to eat was Old Chicago, and they were kind of known for their calzones. And I would get the Chicago 7. It would have
the Chicago 7.
Yes,
I like that.
They're like pepperoni and sausage and mushrooms, and it was like a supreme pizza inside baked dough.
Wow, that's what they're having at Litchfield today.
All right.
Let's see. Any more menus on your side there?
Yes, I do. Sorry.
I just got so excited about.
Well, I love calzones, but then when you ask me to describe them, I'm like, I know what they are, but describing them for me was difficult for some reason. Sandhill School in Dunning, chicken strips today.
So in other
Sandhills.
words, let me put this into perspective here. In other words, a calzone is a folded over pizza. So basically you're getting
I would go with that.
kind of the same ingredients with just a little different presentation.
There you go.
So it's like underwear
Here we go. Only
and
you,
a swimsuit.
only you could make a correlation between those two things.
They do the same thing. If you can swim in either one, but one is more presentable than the other. Arnold today, sweet and sour chicken.
And Selma Myrna today made fresh chicken and noodles with dinner roll, baked pork fritter with dinner roll, Uncrustable cheese and cracker platter at Anselmo Myrna today.
Ansley School featuring hash brown, casserole, and chicken sandwich.
Gothenburg today, soft-shell beef tacos, chicken parmesan sandwich, made fresh buffalo ranch pizza, make it fresh ham chef salad with flatbread station, pizza snackable, and a fresh baked ham and cheese sub. Some of your choices at Gothenburg today.
The Prairie Pioneer Center today featuring hot dog on a bun, mac and cheese, peas and fruit. And don't forget, they have a ribbon cutting at 3:30 tomorrow for their new blood pressure hub. And it's also kind of an open house. They're celebrating 45 years of serving the area. Phone number, if you want more information, is 872-6121. All right. Let's see. Oh, on the serious side, we do know that yesterday several fire departments were called out to fight a fire in the Milburn area in the 3 o'clock hour yesterday. A lot of mutual aid called in. So we hope that that all was contained as best could be. The winds really were wild yesterday, real gusty and swirly, and I'm sure it made it very, very tough. But I know Anselmo and Myrna, mutual aid from Broken Bow, Sargent, and Dunning, and that was on the River Canyon Road area there. So hopefully that was not too bad, but it was very windy, so I hope you guys are okay, and much of the property out there is remain the same after you guys do your great service. But, man, nasty
Yes.
day.
Yeah.
Red
it
Flag
was.
Day yesterday.
Yes.
So I just want to say something else.
What's
if
that?
you don't mind. What do you got there? You got something in your hand.
Well, I think we need to call Drew today.
It is. I'm going to call him right now.
All right.
I'll just call him live.
Love it.
Live on the air. Thank you for catching that.
Absolutely.
Hopefully we didn't.
Hello.
Drew?
Yeah.
Hey, it's Dave and Brent. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I kind of got off track this morning. It was my fault. Almost forgot to call you. I'm just going to be honest about it. I'm not going to lie and say that, we had something else come up and blah, blah, blah. I almost forgot to call you, Drew.
Well, I could make a comment, but I'll just be tight.
Oh, boy. How's things at the Burwell and Broken Bow livestock barns?
Things are doing good. We had a big weigh-up sale last Thursday. No sale on Friday. Last week in Rugbo on a weigh-up special, we had high-yielding cows was 156 to 165. Next cut of those cows was 145 to 155 to 75. Those poorer, thinner cows was 142 to 144. Heiferettes was 159 up to 247 and a half, and the bulls was 165 to 210. And we did have about 7 of those baby calves, and they were running anywhere from $750 up to $1,000 per head. This week, I got 2 big days back in Broken Bow and Burwell. Got a special weigh-up sale on Thursday again, and then we've got something kind of hard to find. We've got 40 head of Coriani roping cattle. Going to have those available for inspection there on Wednesday. 20 of those are going to be fresh cattle, never been roped, and then 20 head of those are going to be lightly roped and just broke in. And those will sell right at 1 o'clock sharp. And then we will have a handful of those feeders after that to follow. And then back on Friday, got a big day. Got big weigh-up special plus 3,000 head of calves and feeders coming through the door. A lot of reputation calves there on Friday. A lot of good green cattle ready to turn out to grass. Do have coming down the road. Do got a couple pair auctions coming up and some bred cow sales on May 2nd and 3rd. So if you're interested in some of that stuff or need to get rid of anything, just give us a holler. Give me a call 308-872-1105.
All right, Drew. Thanks a lot. I feel like I kind of cut you short here this morning. You're kind of probably had something else to do, so I appreciate you. I appreciate your understanding until I see you face to face.
Well, when I see you face to face, partner.
Oh, boy.
Oh man. Well, I guess we'll see what a old 70-year-old can do. But I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Well, I've watched Rod Palmer. They're pretty handy at 70 years old.
Yeah. Thanks, Drew. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
See you guys.
Yeah, take care. All right, that's what's going on at the barns. Let's play the game.
Let's do.
Get on
Here
track.
we go.
I'm sorry, I got off track this morning.
It's all right.
My apologies.
It's okay.
Be honest about it. I shouldn't have went there. I should have just not worried about the comments made. Not let it get under my skin.
It's all right. Sometimes you do just have to let things go.
Yeah, sometimes.
All right, let's play the game. Here we go. As Dave mentioned earlier, it is Earth Day today. So we're asking some questions this week surrounding that topic. What uses the most energy in U.S. homes each year? Let me say that again. What uses the most energy in U.S. homes each year? Here are your choices. The lights. Running your refrigerator. Running the heating and air conditioning. Or the hot water heater. What of those uses the most energy in U.S. homes each year? Is it the lights, the refrigerator, heating and air conditioning, or hot water heater? If you know, call us at 872-2801.
listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show with Dave and Brent.
Good morning.
Tumbleweed Cafe in Broken Bow offers delicious food in a family-friendly atmosphere. Open 6 until 4. Don't miss daily lunch specials and the Sunday buffet. Need a quick bite? Express breakfast is 6 to 11 Monday to Friday, and express lunch is 11 to 2. On the go, pick up a ready-to-go casserole for busy nights. For evening cravings, visit Cracker Jack Sports Bar and Grill. Open nightly from 5 to 10 with specials, appetizers, and snacks. It's all waiting for you on East Highway 2, Broken Bow.
It is Tumbleweed Day, so if our caller wins, she wins a treat out at the Tumbleweed or the Cracker Jacks.
Yep, yeah, this is for a free food item at Cracker Jack Sports Bar and Grill.
And we have Dawn on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Here's Brent with your question.
Okay, what uses the most energy in U.S. homes each year? Is it the lights, the refrigerator, heating and air conditioning, or hot water heater?
Heating and air conditioning.
Oh, yeah, you got it. It is the heating and air conditioning. It uses the most energy in U.S. homes each year. And because you've answered correctly, we're going to give you a certificate to get you a free food item at Cracker Jack's Sports Bar and Grill. Oh, my gracious. You can stop. Whew, wow. Dawn, thanks for calling, and we'll have your certificate out here for you whenever you can swing by and pick it up.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Dawn.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Are you okay?
Yeah,
I'm very worried about your elbow. Do we have Team PT coming in today?
Yeah.
Do we do good? I'm going to have them check your elbow and your arm.
Bell elbow.
Yes, after ringing the cowbell like that, I'm afraid you injured yourself. You're okay?
Oh, yeah, I use the
Yeah.
wrist.
Oh,
It's more of a wrist motion.
okay.
When you
All
really get
right.
it going. I have a correction to make.
Yes.
Thank you, Jan. Jan Custer correcting yours truly, and you're right. I should have grabbed the sheet rather than off the top of my head because my days don't always line up with the day that it is.
Uh-huh.
This is Tuesday. I did say
It
that
is.
at the top of the show. So tomorrow, Wednesday,
Yes.
is Administrative Professionals Day.
Okay.
And the ribbon cutting at the Prairie Pioneer Center for their blood pressure hub is at 3:30 on Thursday.
Yes, yeah, and the open house that day runs from 1 to 4, I
All right.
believe,
Thank
on
you.
Thursday. Yes.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much. I'm now I really am embarrassed because Jan is a famous speech teacher, and I'm sure she's just about had it with me today. And Jan, if I was in your class, I suppose you could put me in timeout, put me in the corner. Back in the old days, you could have, never mind.
Yeah. I remember having Jan as a judge when I was in speech.
Really?
At Loop City High School. Yes, I do.
Was she a tough judge, or do you know?
She was a good judge.
A good judge.
Very good judge. Yes. Knew what to look for and knew how to judge kids appropriately. Sometimes you'd get the critiques back from judges and you go, huh?
Yeah.
Were they watching me? But never had to worry about that with Jan. She was a great coach, great judge, and great person.
You know why?
Why is that?
Because she's an honest, straight
Yes,
shooter.
absolutely.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Okay.
You want to swing
Pull that
mic
microphone over toward you, sir. We have a guest in the studio.
Jason, out there doing some chasing. Oh, I'm sorry, that didn't make any sense. How's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Pretty good. Pretty darn good. Kind of seeing things green up a little bit. I don't know if you know this, Jason, but we had 4 drops of rain yesterday evening.
Wasn't yesterday evening weird?
It was strange.
I mean, there were 2 moments where the wind just picked up, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go, man. It's going to haul off and pour for a couple
yeah,
of
it
minutes.
looked like it, didn't it?
But
Oh,
boy,
yeah.
it never did it?
I drove through some wind that the dirt was just blowing across the road
Yeah.
so bad going home.
Yeah, and swirly, not in just one direction. It was nuts. And
Yep.
opened our front door of the house. I thought we had company. It was just the wind,
Yeah.
It was that kind of a wind.
Yep.
So it's kind of bad when you see that dirt blowing around. That takes us to cover crops, of course.
Yep.
And we can't have cover crops on everything, but where we do have cover crops, it's a better deal when we have these situations, especially as dry as it is.
Oh yeah, that so much of it. I mean, yeah, it conserves the holds the moisture and keeps the dirt from blowing, keeps your topsoil there, keeps the biological activity going in that soil. Yep.
Yeah. We're talking with Arrow Seed in Broken Bow. Jason is in the front part of the store. Last week, Logan came in your place, and I'm going to speak completely honest. I'm trying to, everything I say, be as straight and as honest as I can make it this morning. His jokes were terrible.
I didn't catch him last week.
Is he like that at the store?
Oh, sometimes.
Okay, I was wondering if it was just when he was on the air, or if this was throughout the day.
Yeah, and here's the other part of that, Jason. His jokes were so bad, they were good.
Yep.
They were so terrible, they were funny.
Yep.
And he's been doing that for a number of years, but he was really on point last week.
Yes, he was. He's on a roll.
Yeah. Wow. So what do you want to talk about today?
Oh, we finally got the potatoes and onions are in, and they're going out the door pretty quick. The garden seed, the 5-step program. Yeah. It's all been very busy.
Very busy.
A lot of people get in to get the potatoes for Good Friday.
Yep.
That's what I was wondering.
Oh, tons.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody believes that, don't they?
Yep.
Good Friday's the time to put those taters in the ground.
Yep.
All right. I think let's spend a little bit of time talking about the yards here, if you don't mind, this morning. We can talk a little bit more about ag if you like, but for those out there who have the underground sprinkler systems, they're in pretty good shape. But for those of us who are dragging hose, we probably need to be pouring some water on, don't we?
Yeah, you can sure tell yards that have had some water on them already, and the ones that are struggling and need some. Yep.
Along with those 5 steps, it doesn't really do any good. With all the things you can do to make your yard green, it only works with the water, right?
Yeah, gotta have water to get the grass to grow.
Yeah. And it's kind of it's kind of a pain, but I found that you can get those timers that you can put on the faucet, so you don't have to, if you set it for an hour, it's going to water for an hour, and you can come back later and move it. You don't have to be there all the time, but water is so important with those fertilizers and the things you do to kill the bugs and all of that.
Yeah, like the first step is it's got the crabgrass preventer in it, so that's got to get watered in, and I keep watching the weather, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed here this week because it looks somewhat promising.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Brent was talking about that yesterday, Jason, that when about 6 days out, the forecast looks pretty good, and as we get closer,
It's dwindling, yes.
but and it makes me a little bit upset too to watch say a TV station on the east end of the state, and it was kind of the other way around for a while, but they're getting some rains, not a lot, but they are getting some rains, and then they show that line or that map, and here we are out here in the drought.
Yep. But out east got some of that white stuff the other day too, and that was pretty bad.
Yeah, that you don't need at all.
Yeah.
Some real damage
That was too
there.
early.
Yeah. So that's that first step you're talking about. And on the 5-step program, kind of explain you can do all 5, or there's probably maybe a recommendation for at least 2 or 3, something like that.
Yeah, most people do all 5 steps. There's some that don't do a couple steps, but most everybody does the crabgrass preventer, the bug killer, and the broadleaf control, and then the winterizer at least.
Okay, all right. You had a kind of a little bit of I wouldn't call it a clearance sale, but a nice reduction on some of the things in the store. Is that still going on with the items that you had on sale?
Yeah, the LEM, the food processing stuff, yeah, and all of our seasonings, having a big sale on that.
Okay, still going on.
Still going on. Yep, we're kind of clearing it out.
Okay, and there's always demand for fencing supplies. I suppose it kind of depends on what's going on, what the season is, how much rotation's going on out there. But are you pretty well stocked up for the guys that out there and the gals that are moving cattle and setting up electric fence?
You bet. Just got a big kind of our spring booking for all of our fencing stuff, and so we're kind of all stocked back up really good and should be. And if we need to get something for somebody, they can get her ordered in.
Okay. I still find it entertaining to watch the birds, and they're still eating a lot of bird seed right now. It seems like you'd think with it warming up a little bit, but it is spring and they're pretty busy. What you got a lot of different seed choices for folks?
Yeah, we got the finch blends, the wild bird mix, the black seed, the black oil sunflower seeds. Yep, kind of got her all, and the people that are coming and picking it up saying, "Yep, the birds are eating it as fast as they put it out."
They really are.
Yep.
It's kind of amazing. You'd think, well, they could start eating berries off the trees, but I guess we're not to that point yet.
Yep.
But, all right. Anything else that you wanted to mention this morning?
That's
I got a quick question for you. I noticed down in the basement that there weren't many, but tiny little creepy crawly things starting to come into the house just a little bit. You got some of that
tempo
magic stuff?
Yep, we got tempo, and that's the bugs are starting to come out, and so it's a good time to stay on top of it.
Nick them early, yeah.
Yep.
What kind of bugs do you have in your basement?
Not many. Just I saw
box elder bug?
Tiny little spider.
Oh yeah, they'll get to work.
They find a way.
There's still a few box elder bugs around.
Yeah.
And there was a bug in the bathroom sink the other morning. I didn't really recognize what it was. It had little wings on it. And I thought, well, I'm going to leave it alone.
Oh,
and
that's nice of you.
See if it could get along in the sink the whole day. And it did.
Wow, okay. What a nice man you are.
You have to, if you live with a woman who would save a snake, you're kind of careful about that sort of thing. But if you just want to make sure they stay away, tempo's the way to go.
You bet.
And you can put that around, I think, inside the house and outside the house. Pretty safe.
Yep, it's pretty safe. Inside, outside.
And I heard it really does. Well, I think you've used it like up at the tower site and
Yes.
stuff. It really does work.
Oh,
right.
It's amazing.
It's very
stuff.
effective.
Yep.
I've used it even when speaking of box elder bugs. I've used it on the perimeter of the office side when we started getting some problems there, and just go along the wall with it, and it's just like spraying water, and it's very concentrated.
Yes.
So you use just a little teeny bit with the water, and it once it's dry, then there's no harm, no foul. I mean, it's good to go.
Yep, little bottle will last you a long time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good question, Brent.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
I mean that honestly.
Oh, well, thanks, Dave.
Truly.
I know. I can see I can see you mean it.
Okay.
So thank you.
Jason, thanks for coming in.
You betcha.
Appreciate it.
You bet. Thanks,
Arrow
guys.
Seed, you bet. Thank you. Arrow Seed and Broken Bow open 5.5 days a week for you to stop in and do your shopping. Get ready for spring with Arrow Seed. We'll be back with the news right after these words.
Wake up to the best.
I never miss a morning.
You're listening to The Breakfast Show.
Is there anything better than getting rewarded? Let us ask you this. How many reward apps do you currently have on your phone? Are you 2 purchases away from that free coffee or maybe a sandwich? Well, maybe we have one last question. Are you being rewarded for spending? If you said no, we can help you change that. At Bruning Bank, we offer 4 levels of our Bruning Bank credit card so we can best match you with the credit card suited for your lifestyle. The best part? You earn rewards with every purchase. Give us a call today at 308-872-2757 or visit BruningBank.com to learn how you can make the most of your purchases. Bruning Bank, member FDIC.
Get ready for something meaty this May. KCNI and KBBN are cooking up a giveaway you won't want to miss. There's a secret stash of sizzling prizes hidden in the airwaves, but only the bold will uncover them. Trust us, it's not just a steak dinner. This is a beefy surprise that will have you hooked. Stay tuned, stay hungry, and keep those ears sharp. May the beef be with you.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. The Vatican says Pope Francis' funeral will be held Saturday morning at St. Peter's Basilica. Then the cardinals will gather to choose a successor. New York Archbishop Cardinal Timothy Dolan.
They're going to see some mourning, they're going to see some gratitude, they're going to see some hope, and then they're going to see people say, we need to get to work. The Holy Spirit's already chosen the next pope. Our job is to find out who it is.
Cardinal Dolan on CBS Mornings. Harvard is suing the Trump administration to try to unfreeze more than $2 billion of federal funding. Legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum.
The Trump administration's defense is that the civil rights of Jews cannot be subordinated to the academic freedom of a university.
The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences weighs in on artificial intelligence.
They own this country. They're bigger gangsters than we ever could be.
Says movies like The Alto Nights, which used AI to alter Robert De Niro's voice, can be considered for Oscars. CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Here's a look at Nebraska news. In a story released by KSMB, roadwork is underway on the Husker Highway at Monitor Road, according to the Nebraska Department of Transportation. Husker Highway will be closed a half a mile west of Highway 30 at Monitor Road, where Husker Highway will be realigned with the new 4-lane divided highway. Husker Highway will be closed for up to 120 days during the construction of the intersection. Warmer Construction of Hastings is the contractor. Drivers are asked to use an alternate route, and traffic will be maintained and temporary traffic control signs. Motorists are reminded to drive cautiously in and near work zones, to buckle up and put phones down. This has been a Nebraska News Update. I'm Jack Simpson reporting for Central Nebraska's news source.
A crazy hockey playoff game in L.A. late Monday. The Kings beat Edmonton 6-5 on a goal in the final minute. L.A. had led 4-0 late in the second period. This was the opener of a first-round best-of-7. Washington won its opener in overtime against Montreal 3-2. Game winner to Alex Ovechkin. Winnipeg and Dallas each won. The Stars in overtime beat Colorado 4-3. 2 NBA playoff games. Detroit is even at a game apiece after winning at New York 100-94 despite 37 points from Jalen Brunson. The Pistons franchise had lost 15 straight in the postseason, an NBA record until this one. The Clippers won at Denver to even that series at a game apiece. 105-102 the final. Kawhi Leonard with 39 points. The Nuggets committed 20 turnovers. To Major League Baseball, Detroit beat the Padres 6-4. San Francisco won again 5-2 over Milwaukee. Houston shut out Toronto 7-0. The Mets held on 5-4 over Philadelphia for a 5th straight win.
Here's your weatherology forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Mainly sunny skies today with daytime highs approaching 74. Northeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Slight chance of rain showers. Tonight, lows dip down to about 44. Partly cloudy skies. Cloudy skies expected tomorrow. Chance of rain showers. High temperatures reach up to 69. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Designed with pride, sold with integrity. That's Palmer Monument in Broken Bow. Their staff is trained to assist you in the decision-making process. You'll know you're getting a result built from the very best workmanship and the highest quality of materials at Palmer Monument, Broken Bow.
This is April Good, proud to be with Lashley Land and Recreational Brokers. We guarantee you the very best exposure in marketing your property, averaging over 40,000 visitors per month to our website. This market is hot, but if you want a premium for your farm, ranch, or recreational land, you need your property to be able to be found by investors and buyers. If you are thinking about selling, call me, April Good, for a free market analysis and check us out at lashleyland.com.
8:06. Let's go outside and find out what it really feels like with Jack Simpson. Jack?
Well, good morning. First of all, I got to say Jeremy is still sitting inside of his truck, so I'm wondering if he's going to be messing with me this morning. Other than that, it's a beautiful feeling morning with 36 degrees outside, partly sunny skies. Wind's not much of a factor. They're showing light and variable right now. There you go. There's your first honk of the day. 30.02 for your barometric pressure and humidity at 88%. No rain in the last 24 hours. The precipitation for this month staying 64 hundredths. High yesterday of 80. Overnight low of 34. Sunrise today was at 6:47 and sunset today 8:26. Hi, Jeremy. I see you.
Okay. Jack, one other question.
Yep.
You told me that you turned an ankle on
I
a
did.
golf ball this morning.
I did.
No.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Said something about workman's comp.
Just a joke.
Okay. All right. But you did find
Now,
a golf...
are we liable for that, or is the person who hit the golf ball that ended up in the parking lot area, are they liable?
Well, how are we going to tell unless they have their name on it?
Well,
and it was
see a name.
And it was by the measurement.
Yep.
For rain, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're okay. And if not, hey, we got team physical therapy here.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We're ready. Just let me know. We're ready.
Thanks, Jack.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Good segue.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to let you guys visit for a minute. I got something over here I have to find. It's Earth Day, and I have some Earth Day segments I cannot find.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right,
you guys visit about whatever you guys want to talk about.
Okay.
But one of the things I think that you want to talk about for sure is a little party that's going to go on
Yes.
at Team Physical Therapy.
Yep. So I'm Rachel from Team Physical Therapy. Miss Linda Shaw, who has worked for us, in July it would be 23 years. So for our Broken Bow location, she is, to a lot of our patients, like, they just expect to see her. If she's sick one day, the first question I get when I see my patient is, "Where's Linda? Is Linda okay? Where'd Linda go?" So end of this month, she is retiring. So Wednesday, the 30th, we just wanted to invite everyone. Come, stop by, wish Linda well. I think Jeff said there will be some cake. So stop, have a piece of cake. But
is Jeff making the cake?
I don't think so.
I didn't figure.
If he is, he's definitely like found his best cake bakers of patients and is pawning it off as if he made it. But think of all our good cooks in the community.
Yes,
he's probably swindled somebody into it. No, I don't think he's making it. But we just really want to wish her well. She's been such a familiar face with our company. And I mean, she's really gotten to know the patients along with us. Mm-hmm. So also excited for her. She gets to, spend more time with her grandchildren, and we're just wishing her the best.
Yeah. Jeff brought her in a couple of weeks ago for the segment.
Oh,
and
perfect.
we got to visit with her. So that was great to get to visit with her. And yeah, she's been there a long time. And well, I know you're all kind of a family there.
A little bit, yeah.
Team,
we bicker like family sometimes too.
Okay.
It's all aspects.
I love it. All right. So that's coming up on the 30th of April,
so not
right?
this Wednesday, but next Wednesday.
Okay.
Yep. And then I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, that's all right. So what are some of the other things that are happening at Team? I mean, what are some of the things you're kind of working on and working with at the moment?
Yeah. So I've actually, on my caseload, I've actually seen an increase of like tendonitis of the wrist and the forearm. I can tell people are getting out and moving more. Gardening season is coming. And I always, we'll get some people in their like 20s and 30s who I think underestimate it, right? And then I've got my, we'll say, 55-year-old gal who's a gardening pro. She knows, like, I need to take rest breaks and whatnot. And then I'll get somebody who's a little bit newer, and I'm like, well, all I did was work in the yard a little bit last weekend. And I'm like, you don't think about those body mechanics in that moment and whatnot. So I've seen a little increase in like some tendonitis of the elbow and of the wrist. But then we've also got, another round of sports coming up. But Jeff is prepping for baseball. Yeah. Baseball's coming. We've got golf right now as well. Based on my golf game, I have learned that I am liable if I hit a car. So just to set the record straight, that's why I heavily modify my golf game to not even be close to the highway.
There you go.
But no, and I mean, we're also coming up on planting season, so we get a lot of neck pain with that because you're trying to work controls in one spot and look and turn to another spot. So this is definitely the time of year where also we see like the weather dictates when some people can get in, and that's okay. We'll make it work. If you've got a super busy schedule, but it rains one day and you want to get in, give us a call. We'll make it happen.
I know that we always have this conversation about this time, and certainly as we go deeper into the summer, but hydration is always a big part of,
It is. It is. Also, like after Easter, if anyone had ham, maybe I haven't had ham in a while, and I told Nathan later in the day, I was like, I am so thirsty. And he looked at me, he's like, it's the ham.
Yes.
And I'm like, no, I'm really parched. He's looked over, he's like, it's the ham. So, I mean, if anyone else felt that, know that I did too. But definitely, like, we're kind of getting into that time too, where we got like some warm days and then all of a sudden it cools off, and you're going to find that you're going to experience thirst more, but you're already dehydrated by the time you get to like, oh, I'm super thirsty. So trying to be proactive, carry the water bottle, carry the basic Stanley cup with you. I have a Stanley, so there's no judgment for that. But take, kind of to make that part of your routine, make that part of your regular to have a water bottle with you and try and hydrate.
Yeah, good. Let's see, as far as the sports activities are concerned, we're right in the middle of track. You mentioned boys golf.
Yeah.
Man, we're a month away from even kind of bringing all of that to a conclusion. Have you seen some things coming in regarding
Seen some.
those? Okay.
I don't even want to say it because I don't want to jinx it.
Oh, okay.
I will say though, I don't feel like this track season there's been some track injuries. There's been some really proactive athletes who are trying to stay on top of things. I don't feel like I've seen the magnitude of hamstring strains or quad strains. And I think the weather was beneficial this year. We got to get outside and run, and we didn't have to do the dance of outside, inside, outside, inside. So, for all the track coaches, I did knock on wood. But it's been an okay year. With every year, there's some injuries.
Yeah.
And, it's good to see athletes being a little bit more in tune with their body, too. I'll get high schoolers who are like, oh, this was kind of an issue last year. I wanted to get in before, it became an issue around districts and state. And that's just like a little proud moment where you're like, oh, your symptoms, to be on top of it, So you're proud of them in that moment. But it hasn't been too bad.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you bring that up because I'm sure a lot of it has to do with, and not just athletes, but just anybody, the education part.
Yeah.
On your part. It's a big thing, isn't it? Just educating people on things to do.
Absolutely. And part of the goal is to not need us. It's a terrible business practice if you think about it. But the goal is to not need us so that I can teach you what stretches can you do to take care of some tightness? What exercises can you do to strengthen up? A lot of times that's, we're giving home programs and printing them off. So if you ever need them in the future too, we'll just let Murphy's Law on the fact that accidents happen sustain the business.
Which is true.
But the goal is that you learn the process too and can take care of yourself at the end if you start to see some similar things creep up a year later, 2 years later. And it doesn't always work that perfect, but that's the goal.
Well, and I'm sure a big part of that is preaching being proactive as opposed to reactive.
Yes.
And that's the one thing I have learned in visiting with all of you. You know, for me, physical therapy was always, well, you go to physical therapy after something happened.
Yeah.
But in visiting with you, you guys work a lot in, hey, we've talked about surgeries. Dave, brings up things like knee surgeries and stuff. And now there's like a whole, I think, thing you go through prior to the surgery.
Yes.
So that recovery is a little bit better on the other end of it. And so being proactive has become a big part of physical therapy, hasn't it?
It has. And, you're seeing it in all kind of walks of life. We're seeing it in track kids who are noticing that they're starting to get some pain somewhere. I'm seeing it in women who are at that age where they're starting to potentially get diagnosed with osteopenia, which is the precursor to osteoporosis. There's a ton of great research out there about strength training to prevent or delay the progression of osteoporosis. So I've got a gal in the clinic that we're lifting weights. And that's a great starting point, too, because not everybody had weights class in high school and whatnot. So you just may not have been exposed to them. This is a great environment that we can be proactive, try and take a little control of your health versus feeling reactive there. And learning, okay, how do I do this without injuring myself, but getting the results I want? And that's really the goal.
And every patient's different, I'm sure.
Every patient's different, yes.
Yeah, everybody's different.
Yeah.
Let's see, other things that maybe we haven't asked you about, but you wanted to visit about today?
Well, I mean, congratulations to Tracy. She did have her baby, and she's on maternity leave now.
Oh, great.
So congrats to her. She's not in the clinic as she shouldn't be. She should be taking that time as mom. So we'll welcome her back when she's ready for maternity leave. But no, we're excited for her. Otherwise, no, nothing too crazy new.
Okay.
We're just going with the flow here.
All right. And we started with this, so let's end with this. Let's remind everybody about your special
Just
get
a
together
reminder,
on the 30th.
Wednesday the 30th, feel free to stop by Team Physical Therapy in Broken Bow. We should have some cake and potentially refreshments. Don't hold me to that. We'll for sure have water. And just wish Linda well. That'll be kind of her last day. We'll see if we can swindle her into filling in a few days if we're short-staffed or something for a familiar face. But we just want to wish her well into retirement.
Good. All right. Thanks for stopping in. It's great
Thanks
to
for
see you.
having me, guys.
Thank you. We'll take a time out with these words on The Breakfast Show.
Dave and Brent
Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
on KCNI KBBN Radio.
Melham Medical Center is your local hospital that is here for you. We are large enough to serve, small enough to care. Melham provides procedures such as hysterectomies, knee replacements, cataract operations, orthopedic surgery, and many other surgical procedures. Each of those performed at Melham Medical Center in Broken Bow without the ride to Kearney or Grand Island. To learn more, visit melham.org or call 308-872-4100 today and learn why Melham Medical Center is large enough to serve, small enough to care.
Vermeer has been innovating and equipping farmers with their innovations since their first wagon hoist to their pioneering round baler, helping farmers and ranchers get their work done quickly and efficiently. With comprehensive service and support, Power Solutions of Broken Bow is proud to be your local Vermeer dealer. Give them a call at 308-872-5522 or stop out and see them 2 miles east of Broken Bow on Highway 2.
You're listening to The Breakfast Show on a Tuesday. We appreciate that very much. Earlier this morning, I received a phone call and a request for some music today. So let's take care of that right now and get a little bit of Sturgill Simpson going. This is one that was requested. It's called Life Ain't Fair. Office would like us to announce a very important message, and I'll do that at this time.
Okay.
And I feel good about it. Personal property schedules are due May 1st, 2025. So to avoid any penalties, just a reminder, you need to take care of that. You can call the office at 872-2981 or stop by the office at the courthouse with any questions or concerns. And that comes from the Custer County Assessor's Office. And they just want to remind you, personal property schedules are due May 1st. I'm glad that they did that because I have a little personal property envelope in my desk that I would have forgotten about.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, and good morning to Tina Zorb, who sent this to us.
All right. There are some job opportunities being posted on sandhillsexpress.com at the moment. Just go to the employment page. And when you go there, you'll see this one posted. Nebraska Department of Transportation has a great opportunity for a highway maintenance worker to join their team in Broken Bow and in Ansley. At the NDOT, they reward their employees' hard work with a friendly and supportive work environment that encourages creativity and innovation. They provide training and career development, advancement opportunities, ample paid time off, work-life balance, and a comprehensive benefits package. To apply, you need to go online because an online state application must be completed. So go to this website, statejobs.nebraska.gov. The state of Nebraska is an equal opportunity veterans preference employer.
I'm really getting to like these pauses. I think pauses are effective, and I'm just going to be truthful
They can
about
be,
it.
yes.
Used to worry about it in radio, if you just had a split second of nothing on the air, everybody freaked out. They call it dead air.
Yeah.
And there's a goal not to have that. But planned pauses are very effective.
Well, I love listening to baseball on the radio.
Because?
And there's all kinds of pauses.
Well, yeah.
For baseball announcers,
Well, the good news with those guys is they still have a little rumble of the crowd, and maybe they can get a little audio of the wave going on or something. There's something behind it, but yeah, that baseball's nice that way. A nice thing to do if you have a administrative professional in your office or your shop or your farm or ranch, somebody who's doing the books, taking care of organizing things, is let them know how much you appreciate them. Tomorrow is Administrative Professionals Day, and if you're kind of scratching your head saying, flowers are fine, a little chocolate wouldn't hurt, just a little thank you card, but you can really go all out and really kind of give them a break. There's a half day set aside tomorrow at Mid-Plains Community College, and they have a special speaker. Jamie Weingart will be speaking, and she is going to be talking about owning your well-being and engagement. This will start at 9 and run until noon, and lunch will be provided on the Broken Bow campus, Mid-Plains here. Now, Casey was at the economic development meeting yesterday inviting the business people to, they have professionals, not too late. I would give them a call this morning. If you're thinking, that's a great idea. I have one or two people that would enjoy that. A half day of break on Wednesday, lunch. There's going to have some gift baskets and different things along with that. It's just set aside completely for our administrative professionals. If you want to try to get your employees in, call 872-5259 or stop by the Broken Bow campus, 872-5259.
We were talking about job opportunities being posted on sandhillsexpress.com. Here's another that you'll find. Pearson Construction is looking for workers for framing and concrete work. You'll be working in Broken Bow and the surrounding communities. Some of the benefits offered include health insurance, and there is a $1,000 hiring bonus possibility. So for more information or an application, just email Homer Pearson, Pearson, number 1, at gmail.com.
Thank you very much, Brent. We're going to take a time out. When we come back, it is time for a visit with Mark Stock. Stay tuned. Happy Cinco de Mayo from Fiesta Brava in Broken Bow. Even though it falls on Monday, their normal day off, they're opening their doors to celebrate one of their favorite holidays with you. Enjoy $5.99 20-ounce margaritas all day long. Mouth-watering Mexican food and an unbeatable atmosphere. Start your week with Fiesta Brava. Open 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. Bring your friends, your appetite, and your party spirit. Make this Cinco de Mayo one to remember. See you at Fiesta Brava in Broken Bow.
Cattlemen, spring is here and things are starting to green up. But alongside the good green like pasture grass and trees come the bad greens. Musk thistles, mullenweed, buckbrush, and other weeds. Let Aero Aviation help you get the bad green under control this spring. They use the latest in aircraft and GPS technology and crop protection products while keeping the good green in your pocket. Call Casey, Melissa, or Kim today and schedule spring spraying with Aero Aviation, 872-5113.
The 4-H and FFA programs were that foundation set for me to compete and get better all the time.
I was also introduced to topics like entrepreneurship and record keeping. All of those experiences grow lots of possibilities.
If you believe in developing the next generation, these programs are developing leaders for our community and our state.
Choice gas election has begun. Call 877-274-5710 by April 23rd to make your choice. Constellation is proud to support Nebraska 4-H and FFA.
Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Mark Stock here with Big Iron Auction Company, and today at 11 o'clock Central Time, 217 acres of center pivot irrigated land in Brown County, Nebraska will sell to the highest bidder. Land located about 8 miles northeast of Ainsworth, Nebraska, consists of 210 acres of irrigated farmland, and there's 6.2 acres of dry land grass. There are 2 8-tower Zematic center pivots and a Zuzu diesel power unit selling with this property, owned by Seaman Properties, LLC. Now, John Buell and Ron Stock will be at the Ainsworth Community Center this morning to answer any questions and offer bidding assistance. But all you need is a connection to BigIron.com to watch this land that will sell today, located by Ainsworth, Nebraska. Please go to the Big Iron website and contact John or Ron for more information. And then at 1 o'clock, folks, we have several hundred pairs selling today to the highest bidder, from Black Angus, Red Angus. There's commercial. There's some really nice, well-pedigreed mamas and their babies that are ready to take back your grass. If you have questions, we encourage you to contact the owners. Animals are located across Nebraska. Sellers include the Bain Cattle Company, Dean and Margaret Walker, Rodney Barwick, Scott Rafferty, Colton Stava, Miles Kulinek, the Hasser Ranch, Tanner Groves, Blue River Cattle, LLC, and Peterson Cattle Company. Please go to Big Iron and check out these outstanding first and second calf heifers, plus a couple 3 to 8-year-old pairs also selling today on Big Iron. And then tomorrow on Wednesday, folks, Nebraska Public Power District, an outstanding lineup of good quality vehicles, service trucks by York, Nebraska will be a featured seller. Jerebeck Family Farms, Inc. by Farwell, Nebraska. Also 13 high-quality items, including a 2015 Wilson Silver Star spread axle livestock trailer. They'll sell a 2020 John Deere 560M Series round baler. And they had this 1983 John Deere 4450 two-wheel drive tractor that is showing 2,800 hours. It is pretty as can be. They also have a John Deere 344E wheel loader with a grapple fork. There's also a Heston 9260 self-propelled windrower, Blue Jet Trackmaster pivot track closer selling on this sale, and many more items. Please support these folks by Farwell, Nebraska, as they have their sale. It's the Jerebeck Family Farms auction. Also, Reinhardt Partnership by Ensign, Kansas. They will sell an Orthman one-tripper strip till machine, a John Deere 8345R mechanical front tractor, and several other items. And Evolution Power Sports from Watertown, South Dakota. They'll sell some 2023 Yamaha Special Edition 700 Series Kodiak ATVs. They also have a Polaris Razor 1000, a 2023 Polaris Ranger 1000, a 2023 Arctic Cat 23 Prowler, also a Kawasaki UTV will sell, and a Yamaha Rhino. These items located in Watertown, South Dakota. We know a lot of folks are in the field now doing tillage work and planting, and we encourage you to download the Big Iron Auction app and take it with you. If you want to participate in these online auctions, if you have your smartphone or your mobile device, an iPad also works. You can be participating, stop the machine, watch the item sell, and then once you get it bought, you can go right back to work again. If you have questions on how you can use all of our apps and our software on a mobile device, it starts with a phone call to our great customer support team at 402-678-2411. That's 402-678-2411. Our auction calendar is filling up as we move into the months of May and into June and July. We have several retirement sales already scheduled for April and early part of September. And then we have big sales scheduled here for November, December, January, February. If you are thinking of retiring, now is the time to contact your area rep or give us a call here at 402-678-2411. Thank you very much for trusting Big Iron Auction Company.
Thanks for starting your day with us.
It's gonna be a good day.
Every morning. KCNI, KBBN Radio.
Start your day right or keep it rolling strong at Howdy Coffee in Broken Bow. Dive into breakfast favorites like the egg scramble or breakfast sandwiches with their signature kolache dough made in-house daily. Check out their newly added lunch menu featuring the chicken bacon ranch, French dip, and Philly sandwiches. And for your sweet treat, go with delicious cronuts. Open Monday to Friday, 6:30 to 4:30, and weekdays, 7 to 4. Satisfy your breakfast, lunch, and cravings beyond at Howdy Coffee on West Highway 2, Broken Bow.
Looking to add some new jewelry to your look? Barney Pharmacy is excited to sell Norel jewelry. It's waterproof, hyperallergenic, tarnish resistant, and it comes with a lifetime guarantee. You know, with words like stainless steel, 18 karat gold plated, you're getting a quality item. Sold separately or as a matching set of 3. Head in and lay your eyes on these beautiful necklaces, earrings, and bracelets. It's jewelry made for everyday wear. Swim, shower, sweat, and never lose that shine. Norel Jewelry is at Barney Pharmacy in Broken Bow.
It is 8:35. Good to have you folks along here on this Tuesday on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. We have Pastor Mike Garner here, and we're going to visit with Pastor Garner in a little bit about a very big show that we talked about last week. We're going to do that. Mike, welcome. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Hey, great to be with you again.
Now, I don't know. See, when you get my age, Mike, you don't know how old anybody is anymore because you still in your brain, you're 30.
Everybody's still kids.
But your body is telling you you're not 30.
See it.
I don't know if you remember. Well, first of all, just help me here. What year were you born?
I was born in 1981. So I'm 40-something. 40.
Yeah, you're.
I'm not even good at basic maths. I'm in my 40s is about all I know at this point.
Okay. I remember in 1990 I was here, and we put together the first show for the first Earth Day in 1990. It was Earth Day, and we this is something you can relate to, I think, because you spent a lot of time in recording studios and music business, and we went down to Cozad. We had a friend who was in a band, and they had built themselves their own studio in an old lumber yard down in Cozad, and they called it 9 Ball Studios, and we went down and spent about 2 or 3 days, day and night, putting this show together. And we had local artists come in and record in the studio. It was the most fun that I've had as far as something like that goes. But it was a little bit of a grind, trying to squeeze everything in and then get it on the air. And we did it on beta tape.
Oh, yeah, beta. Oh, wow. That goes back a lot of years. Gospel music, we tried at one point to do the beta videos. VHS first came out, and then they tried the beta, but it was like, I never understood the point of beta. It's kind of like the same thing with recording when we went to mini disc. It's like, none of us that I recall, now we sang and used mini disc for like backing tracks and stuff, but I don't recall us ever selling albums on mini disc. It's like there's some medium you just don't understand what the point was.
Yeah. Well, they had a multi-track reel-to-reel recorder in there, so we had that available to us. But then we were using beta tape also when we would do commercials and record those, and I think the idea was that beta tape was the best way you could record at that time on tape. And so we did that, and we pieced it all together, and we had local sponsors, and it was a lot of fun. And that's really the only time I've spent in a studio surrounding, but I could see where you kind of would get hooked on it because you get maybe a little crazy on the little details. Did you run into that?
Well, you know what's happened in the recording field today, which I don't know that this has really been a good thing. Used to, and I come from a later era, but used to, you had to go into the studio prepared. You had to know what you were doing. But now we have punch ins and punch outs and overdubs and stuff. So you can come in the studio at 8 o'clock in the morning and just sound terrible. And by the time you get done recording at 5 o'clock, man, they've got you sounding like $1 million, And so it's not nearly as difficult now as it once was.
Yeah.
But, Roy Carter of the Chuckwagon Gang many years ago made a comment. He said the thing that always scared him about recording was somebody in 100 years would still be listening to that recording. And that's true when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to mess up and somebody 100 years later go, man, that guy couldn't sing. Why did they ever record him?
Yeah. And sometimes you lose things, or back then we put it all together, and we had a commercial made for Clyde Arnold Feed Store was one of the sponsors, and we come up with this great little skit, and we had a balloon, and it was a pig squeezing its way through a fence, and we could squeak that balloon to make it sound like this pig went through the fence. It was so cool, and somehow we deleted it or lost it, so we never was able to keep that. Now these days, I'm sure there's backups and all.
All kinds of, it's of course nowadays in recording you've got all kinds of, used to they called them reels, master reels,
right?
But now everything's digital, which to be honest with you, I don't like because, like a CD, you've got all kinds of CDs on this wall here. Well, a CD, if you're looking for something, you just go over and pick it up and pop it in. You're good to go. But I lose digital stuff. I just had to get a new phone last week and lost everybody's phone numbers and everything else. So it's like...
That's about one of the biggest pains you can run into.
I'm not a technology person at all. I just don't like it.
You go in and try to restore all that to your new phone, and they go, well, I don't know if that's going to, transfer.
Well, and it's like a lot of times people ask me all the time, they say, when I preach, I still use handwritten notes. And they say, oh, man, most preachers use an iPad. I said, I can't do it. I said, I can't follow it. What if it goes dead?
The screen goes dark.
Yeah, and it's like, ugh,
Well, it is Earth Day today, and this is the one day every year that we set aside the celebration of our planet, and hopefully we can do some things to preserve our planet. So Brent recommended this song, and I think it's perfect for Earth Day. It's on the countryside. Alabama, Pass It On Down. We'll play that, and we'll see if we can get lined out to talk about your show.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
I've got to call and get Lauren out of bed, I guess.
Okay.
She's asleep.
All right. So here's Alabama, Passing It On Down on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. All right, it's 8:45, and we're freewheeling here today. We've got plenty of time, and Pastor Mark Garner is in from Callaway, and there's a big show coming up, and let's just talk about it. Brent, I know that you're excited about this show.
Yeah.
So why don't you and Pastor Mike visit a little bit about a chance to go see some great entertainment and get inspired.
I'm glad he passed that off to you. He didn't forgot my name over there.
We got it right, though.
He called me Mark.
Yeah.
Did I call you Mark?
Yeah.
He called me, well, we were just talking about Mark Lowry, so that's
I'm
probably
sorry.
why.
I'm sorry.
Well, Pastor Mike, it's good to have you here. Now, I'm going to start with this question because I was, my folks live in Arkansas, and my mom is a faithful listener of the show.
Oh, yeah.
And she had all kinds of questions because she loves gospel music. And so,
where is she from in Arkansas?
They currently reside in Bella Vista.
What is that next
Arkansas.
to?
They not too far from the Missouri. It's kind of in that area of Rogers and Springdale and Fayetteville. It's not too far.
We did Springdale every year. The Parsons Rodeo Arena, we used to have the Brumley sing there every year.
So that was her question. She's like, okay, so what? Give us more background on you and your gospel music background. Were you involved in certain groups?
I was. My family started out, my grandfather started a quartet in 1967 called the Supernals. And so I grew up in it. I grew up on a bus. I grew up, it was not an option in my family to sing. It just wasn't, you sang. And so I spent 200 nights a year on the road singing. I started out playing drums. And my grandfather retired, and eventually the quartet retired right before I graduated high school. And so I knew I wanted to do gospel music so bad I couldn't stand it. And a gentleman at the time gave me some great instruction. He said, learn to do a lot of other things, not just playing and singing. And so I did. And I started out for a short, brief stint with a group called the Wilburns out of Carthage, Tennessee. And Jackie and Elaine were quite a bit older. And so by the time I got involved with them, they were getting close to retirement. I don't know what it is about people retiring when I get old enough to do it, But Jackie and Elaine were getting older, and so eventually they retired. But in the meantime, I kind of, I don't want to say lied to get a job with the Nealons, but what happened was they were looking for a bus driver. And at the time, their daughter, Amber, who most everybody's familiar with, off the Gaither videos, she asked me if I'd ever driven a bus. Now, at the time, she was like 10 or 11, but she liked me hanging around because I got her ice cream and we did fun things. Really, she was wanting a babysitter. She didn't like the babysitter she had at the time. And I said, well, no, I hadn't ever driven a bus. She said, well, that's probably not important. Next thing I know, I interviewed for this job and got the job. And I had never driven a bus before. But I didn't tell them that. I thought, how hard can it be? I got lucky for the first 2 or 3 weeks. Somebody else would start off driving, and then we would just switch drivers. So no big deal. They never caught on to the fact that I didn't know how to drive a bus. And in the meantime, when we were home, I had somebody teaching me how to do things.
Nice.
So I joined the Nealons, and I was there through the mid-2000s, and then they didn't necessarily retire, but they come off the road. And they spent some time in their home church. That lasted 3 or 4 years. Well, when it came time for them to leave the church and they felt called back into full-time music, they called, and I went back and spent the majority of my career with the Nealons out of Atlanta, Georgia. And talking about your mom living in Rogers, Arkansas. We've sang in Rogers. We used to do the Brumley singing in Springdale. Oh, man, it was the worst. It was in a rodeo arena, and an outdoor rodeo arena, and so it would rain, and we would be up to our waistlines. And James Blackwood, which is a name a lot of people will immediately recognize, James, being ever the masterful performer that he was, wore a white suit on a night it rained. Well, it's going good, and James always did his signature, I will meet you in the morning, and you always knew when James did, I will meet you, he was going to get out in the crowd. And he did. He jumped out in that mud up to his knees in that white suit. He's out there singing to these people, slinging mud all over himself. And it was memorable. And what James knew was that would sell records. And it did. He ruined his suit. He said, I made enough to buy 10 suits out of that. And so that's where I spent most of my career.
Yeah.
And I left the Neylands in early 2020. Matter of fact, about 3 weeks before COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have anything to do with COVID. I was just ready to be home. We were singing 275 nights a year, and my wife wasn't liking it, and I wasn't liking it, and so I decided to stay home, and then COVID hit. That was a crazy time in all of our lives. Mercy sakes. You were talking about Earth today. Sometimes I'm not sure we still live on Earth. I feel like we're on Mars, And but I kept in touch with them, and then tragically, back in July of last year, July 26th of last year, all of the Neylands were killed in a plane crash except for Autumn, which God has a sense of humor. Now, let me tell you, there was a funny thing that come out of that. When I got the phone call that it had happened, what was told to me was all of the Neylands had been killed in a plane crash. Well, I'm on the phone with the person telling me, and I'm like, I hear my phone beep. Well, it was Autumn, the youngest daughter. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. So I hung up on him. And he's like, why'd you hang up on me? Well, I answered the phone. I said, Autumn. She said, calm down. She said, I know what you're thinking because everybody's had the same reaction. She said, I was not on the plane. I'm like,
oh, wow.
I said, man, I thought I was fixing to have to drive from California and find you in the Wyoming mountains. So God found humor even in the craziest of situations that day. I thought that the plane had crashed and she had survived, but turns out she was on a different plane. And so it's been a journey since then, getting used to the folks that I traveled with for 20 years, just not being there anymore. It's been a different.
And then, Mike, talk a little bit, because we may have some listeners that weren't listening when you were here last time. Then you transitioned into, you said, if I remember, I never really wanted to be a pastor.
Well, it wasn't that. We pastored for a while, and sometimes any of you out there that have ever pastored or ever done ministry, sometimes you'd rather go be the dog catcher, or a veterinarian or something, or an undertaker, And we had pastored, and it just wasn't a good ordeal. We just didn't, And so I was on Facebook back, not this past fall, but the previous fall, and made contact with a gentleman who lives in Callaway named Ed Lashley from Redfern Electric. And I saw Redfern Electric on there, and I thought, well, who is this guy? So we get to chatting, and for anybody who knows Ed Lashley, he's very business. There's no chit-chat. It's like, Michael, come to my house, or, there's just no chit-chat, no small talk. So he sent me a message, and we worked it out to where I was going to come up and preach a couple weeks for him. We were in Callaway. Actually, we were here and driving to Callaway because at the time I did not know that Brother Dean Heidel had an RV park over there. So we're over here at this Tomahawk. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Tomahawk Park?
Yes.
We were staying over there, and we fell in love with the area. We had talked often about raising our little girl Dorothy in a small town environment. And we had gotten 2 or 3 churches that had called. One was in Amarillo, Texas, another in California, and then Callaway. Really, to be honest with you, I had no intention of pastoring any of them. And we came to Callaway, and we fell in love with it, but they never called. This is in January. And so I had prayed about it, and I told my wife, I said, well, we like the Reno area. This church is just over from Reno. Let's do it. I was going to give that church an answer on Wednesday night at 10 p.m. my time. 9:47 p.m. my phone rings. Michael, this is Ed Lashley. I'm thinking, okay, they're just calling to let me know they've gone a different direction. No big deal. It's okay. We understand. We want you to have who God wants you to have. This is exactly what he said. Michael, this is Ed Lashley. So, hey, Ed, how you doing? I'm well. If you want to, you can go ahead and get ready to start moving to Callaway. The board met, and we want you to be our pastor. Okay.
And that's how you're here.
That's how I'm here, and we love it.
Yeah.
We love
great.
it.
That's great. And now, with your background in the music and knowing all these different gospel shows and acts and so forth, you're putting together a big show, and you're advertising this at least statewide, I think.
It's been everywhere from Omaha to Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Oh,
we
wow.
have a radio station over there that picked it up and carried it, and we've mailed out postcards to have the state. I think we mailed out 15,000 postcards, And so if people don't show up, it is not because they don't know about it. It's not because of that. I'll guarantee you that. But
I think about everybody got a card here.
Yeah.
That
they better have. That's what I paid the post office for.
Yeah, I bet you did. Well, that's great. Well, we got a little more time. Talk about the show itself, and I know you went through this last time, but again, we want to get as many people to your first ever.
Absolutely.
That we can.
It's going to be an interesting night. Lauren, of course, she is considered Southern Gospel, but honestly, Lauren is more of a worship leader. Now, she does everything from contemporary worship music to Southern Gospel to country gospel, black gospel. Lauren can literally do anything you ask her to do. She's just that talented as a vocalist. And so she's going to lead us in worship, and we've got a couple of pastor friends of mine. Actually, I've got 3 pastor friends of mine. Doyle Harper is a pastor from Jacksonville, Florida. He pastors Restoration Baptist Church down there. He's a great singer. He spent many years singing in gospel music. He 62 or 63 and can still sing tenor like he is 19 years old. Wow. And so he's going to be singing and also speaking for us throughout the weekend. James Jones is a pastor from Needles, California. He has a very effective homeless ministry out there. When I say effective, the things God has done for that ministry is mind-blowing. They've had people donate money to buy houses, to buy property. It's just incredible the things God does for them. And then Dennis Cagle is a pastor from Tennessee. He does not sing, however. I was joking with him. I said, I want you to sing. He said, oh, it would be worth the ticket price just to hear that. And then we've got Von Ross. Most people in this area in Custer County are familiar with Brother Von Ross. He owns the Ross Landing Cattle down in Callaway. Nobody in Callaway knew he could sing. He's been singing for 30 years, but never outside the church. I've had more people come up to me in Callaway and go, we're coming just because we didn't know Von could sing. And I'm like, he's been singing a lot for the last year at the church, And so people just have no clue that he can sing. And excellent singer, but he's just never showcased his talent anywhere else. So I sort of had to force him to showcase his talent on this thing. And so it's going to be a fun night of worship, and not to take away from the gospel message, but it's not geared toward any church, any one congregation, any one denomination. It's literally a community event for those who want to get together and worship together, to worship together. We're not going to make you sit through an hour-and-a-half sermon. All of the guys that we have coming, they can say more in 10 minutes than a lot of people can say in 2 hours. And so we're going to move from worship to word, and then Sunday morning we're going to do the same thing, and then we're going to do everybody's favorite thing, eat. I've had more people say, we're coming because there's food. Go imagine.
That's pretty typical. Yeah.
There's not a lot of Baptist churches in this area, but I feel like there's a lot of Baptist people in this area. They like to eat, And so we're going to eat that morning after the service, and then that afternoon we're going to have a fun sing-along and just really have a good time.
Okay.
And tickets are available, right?
They are.
The cost is for Saturday night's performance and then Sunday afternoon,
correct?
Okay.
There is no charge for the Sunday morning service. If folks want to come and enjoy that, and also if there's folks that would like to attend Saturday night or Sunday afternoon that don't have the money or feel like they can't afford it, or they're thinking, gosh, I've got 4 kids, I can't. It's okay. Come on anyway. We're not going to turn anybody away. The ticket sales are mainly just to help with the expenses of the event, but nobody will be turned away. We're not even going to ask questions. If they just show up and say, hey, we can't afford a ticket, hey, go in and sit down. Have a good time. We're going to enjoy it. And we'll even feed them. We'll feed you. Come on. We're not worried about the money. Just come on and enjoy.
Can people pay at the door?
They
Mike,
can.
Okay.
They can pay at the door, or they can call my number, 865-292-4644. 4366. And matter of fact, here in a minute, I've got a stack of tickets laying here that maybe you guys might want to figure out a way to give a few away to these folks
nice.
if they want them, you know.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
You mentioned Lauren. I want to make sure we get her last name out there because for people who follow gospel music, they might be very familiar with the Talley name.
Yes.
And that's Lauren Talley.
Lauren Talley. In gospel music, you have one-namers. Lauren. You have Lauren. You have Bill. We know that's Bill Gaither. We have Mark. You know that's Mark Lowry. You know, Vestal Goodman. And so we're just on a one-name basis, you know, Lauren. But yes, Lauren Talley. Lauren's family were pioneers in the gospel music field. A lot of people that watch Bill Gaither are very familiar with the Hoppers. Well, Lauren's mom and dad got their start many years ago with the Hoppers, as did her dad's brother, her Uncle Kirk. And then they all left and formed. Well, Kirk sang with the Cathedral Quartet. Everybody's familiar with the Cathedral Quartet. And then they started the Tallies. And so they spent from 1984 until 2021 singing as the Tallies. And Lauren was there the last 25 years of that, singing full time. And so she's been very heavily featured on the Gaither videos. And matter of fact, I had a young girl down in Callaway tell me, she said she had heard me say on the radio that Lauren had been singing for 25 years. And she said, I didn't realize Lauren was that old. I told Lauren that. Lauren said, oh, it's wonders what makeup can do for you, you know. But Lauren is... matter of fact, I messed up and told a guy when we did these posters, I got tickled. He was asking me about the poster. And I said something, and I meant to compliment Lauren, but really I didn't. I said, well, you know, I used that picture. I said, because she is kind of hard to look at on the poster. Well, he looked over the poster, and he said, well, if she's hard to look at, who did you use on this poster? So she gets a kick out of crazy stuff like that.
Sounds fun.
Lauren Talley.
Talley. We're going to break for news, and you're welcome to hang with us next half hour a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll just
we'll give some tickets away to folks that want them.
We can do that. News is next on The Breakfast Show.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. The Vatican's announced funeral plans for Pope Francis. CBS's Seth Doan is in St. Peter's Square.
We know now that it will be held at 10 a.m. Rome time on Saturday, and that will officially begin 9 days of official mourning for Pope Francis.
The Pope's casket will be transferred in a procession from the chapel at his Santa Marta residence tomorrow morning. The International Monetary Fund predicts President Trump's tariffs will slow the global economy sharply this year. And the IMF believes China's economy will only grow about 4%, down from January's prediction of 4.6%. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth tells Fox News he did not share secret information in either of two signal chats that revealed war plans, the last to his wife and brother.
We take the classification of information very important. It's very significant to us that we safeguard it.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Hey, get in. What? Who are you? I'm future you. Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Yeah. Mia, our doctor figured it out. She said it's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
crazy hockey playoff game in L.A. late Monday. The Kings beat Edmonton 6-5 on a goal in the final minute. L.A. had led 4-0 late in the second period. This was the opener of a first-round best-of-7. Washington won its opener in overtime against Montreal 3-2. Game winner to Alex Ovechkin. Winnipeg and Dallas each won. The Stars in overtime beat Colorado 4-3. Two NBA playoff games. Detroit is even at a game apiece after winning at New York 100-94 despite 37 points from Jalen Brunson. The Pistons franchise had lost 15 straight in the postseason, an NBA record until this one. The Clippers won at Denver to even that series at a game apiece, 105-102 the final. Kawhi Leonard with 39 points. The Nuggets committed 20 turnovers. To Major League Baseball, Detroit beat the Padres 6-4. San Francisco won again, 5-2 over Milwaukee. Houston shut out Toronto 7-0. The Mets held on 5-4 over Philadelphia for a fifth straight win.
Here's your weatherology forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Mainly sunny skies today with daytime highs approaching 74. Northeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Slight chance of rain showers. Tonight, lows dip down to about 44, partly cloudy skies. Cloudy skies expected. Tomorrow, chance of rain showers. High temperatures reach up to 69. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Gateway Motors, Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Head to East Highway 2 in Broken Bow to visit with their friendly staff, schedule service with their experienced service department, or swing in for quick lube service. Visit gatewaymotorsbrokenbow.com.
907, 47 degrees, mostly sunny. Wind's not a big factor so far today. Pretty nice morning out there. Yesterday we did peak out at 80 degrees, and there was a red flag warning yesterday for fire danger, and we did have some fires yesterday up in the Mullen area. So please be careful out there again today. It's not going to be, I don't believe, quite as hot today, but it is brittle out there and dry. We're having an enjoyable morning here with Pastor Mike Garner from Callaway, and we've also been lucky enough to catch up with the star of the show, and I'm going to turn it over to you, Brent.
Okay, I believe Lauren Talley is with us on the phone. Lauren, good morning. How are you today?
Morning, guys. How are y'all?
We're doing good. We got Pastor Mike here. I think you know him.
I do. And, guys, I'm gonna pray for you for the next few minutes since you got him right there with you.
Oh, bless
she got
you.
out of bed. Can you believe it? I'm so excited.
Well, Lauren, it's exciting to know that you're going to be coming to our neck of the woods. Kind of get us up to date with what you're currently going through. Has it been busy for you? What are you up to at the moment?
This is a very busy time for me. I am in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina right now for a big concert event called Singing in the Sun, and it's a week-long event here with the top gospel artists in the country. A lot of the most well-known preachers in the country are here this week as well, and it's a lot of fun. It's a very busy week, but it's a great week. And as soon as I leave Myrtle Beach on Wednesday, I'm going to head back home, throw some different items in the suitcase, and fly out to see you guys there in Nebraska. So I'm going from the beach to the cornfield all in 1 week, but I'm going to enjoy every bit of it.
Well, it's great. Well, I think a lot of us are very excited that you're coming out to Little Callaway, Nebraska to put on a show. Is this, as far as size of community, will this be one of the smaller communities you've performed in?
Probably the smallest.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Well, not having been to Callaway,
yeah.
I would say it's probably one of the smaller ones, but I have performed in towns of all shapes, sizes, and flavors, so it will not be anything that I'm not already used to. I live in East Tennessee, out in the country, and I am used to small towns, so I will feel right at home, I'm sure.
Well, that's great. Lauren, one of the questions I had, I'm just curious, how old were you on your very first public performance, and where was it at?
Well, they tell me that I was 2 years old. I don't actually remember this, but my family, the Talleys, have sung gospel music for years, and if your listeners are at all familiar with me, chances are it's because of them. And I was 2 years old. They were up on stage singing at some church on some Sunday night somewhere. I think it was maybe in Alabama. I don't really know. And I got away from the babysitter that night and ran down the center aisle of the church, got up on stage, and interrupted their song and announced that I wanted to sing.
You can only imagine how many babysitters she probably went through the years, I mean.
I would say the babysitter might have got a talking to that night, but it worked out pretty good because I actually started singing on stage every night after that. So I think they found, we've got something new we can do here. So
what they found out, Lauren, was that sold a lot of records and videos. So
maybe so. I don't know, but for what it's worth, I've been singing ever since.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about how rewarding this line of work is for you. I can only imagine. I mean, being up on stage, ministering to people, worshiping with people. I'm sure it is a very rewarding career for you, I'm guessing.
It is, and it's what I know I'm supposed to be doing with my life. When I was 12, I can point back to a time where I know God called me to serve Him. Now, that didn't necessarily mean singing, but God called me to serve the Lord. And this is what that service to the Lord has looked like for me for all these years. And I've always just tried to do the next thing that He put in front of me to do. And this is where He has put me. And I'm very grateful for those moments when I do get to stand in front of people and point them to Jesus. It is my job to capture their attention and entertain them, but the ultimate purpose for that is to then put their attention where it ultimately belongs, and that's on the Lord. And so I really enjoy that dynamic between me and the audience when I'm communicating with them and we're having a good time together, and then something special happens in that room when you know the Lord is there and He's going to take over and do what He does. And then we just all get to step back and watch Him together, and that's what it's all about. And it is very, very rewarding to do that. As a matter of fact, I was lying in bed last night. It had been a long day. I was tired. I was kind of stressed out over a few things. And I thought, you know what? If I can just make it to 6:45 tomorrow night when I get on stage, I know it'll all be okay. Yeah. So I'm already looking forward to that, and looking forward to being on stage when I get to Callaway.
Yeah. I don't know if we've talked about this yet or not, but Lauren and Mike, how did you guys get connected? I mean, I know it was through gospel music, but her and of course Lauren probably remembers this. Her dad used to use my uncle's studio in Maryville. He produced quite a bit of records over there. We've talked about her family singing, but her dad is actually one of the most well-known and celebrated gospel music producers. Matter of fact, that's what he's done since he retired. He does a lot more producing now. And then Kirk. We got to talk about Kirk, Lauren.
Do we have to?
Her Uncle Kirk is one of
Just kidding.
He'll probably hear this, and we won't repeat what he'll say about it. But Kirk.
He doesn't get up this early. We're fine.
He's probably out eating somewhere. Kirk is one of the most legendary songwriters in gospel music. He, a lot of people in gospel music can claim to be legendary writers, but really, I think we've only got 3 or 4 that can really claim that status, and Kirk was one of those. And that's how the tally started, though. I give people a hard time. I was telling them about Lauren. They were talking about Lauren's career. And I said, people remember the tallies, but Lauren has, she sang with the tallies for 25 years, 3 times as long as Kirk did. They got tired of Kirk and, put Lauren in Kirk's spot, and it kind of succeeded, But tell them about Kirk, Lauren. We got to talk about Kirk before this is over.
Well, I'm very proud of my family. As I said a minute ago, if you're at all familiar with me, chances are it was because of them. I did sing with my family, the Tallies, for about 25 years. We were blessed to get to do a lot of cool things. A lot of people are probably familiar with me or with us through our work with the Gaither Homecoming video series and the concert tour and things like that, we have actually sung out that way with the Gaither concert tour. So it's not entirely unfamiliar to me out in that neck of the woods. But my uncle is one of gospel music's most prolific songwriters, and he has carved out a niche all his own, not just for his music, but for his personality. And he's as well loved for that as he is his music. And my dad is a very successful producer and arranger in the gospel music field. He has worked for a lot of artists that, if I called their names, you would know them. And he is in the middle of recording 3 projects for other artists at this moment. He is covered up with studio work. My mom, Deborah Talley, is what I think is the best alto voice that gospel music's ever heard. And she would protest that a little bit if she heard this. Oh, now you shouldn't say that kind of thing. But she's always been the classy archetype of what a Christian female vocalist should be, and I'm so incredibly proud of all of my family. And I don't think any of them have ever gotten the recognition that they deserve, but I'm trying at the very least, and I'm very proud of them. You know, it's been said that we stand on the shoulders of giants, and I definitely do. So I'm very thankful for all of them.
Talking about Kirk last year, Lauren and Phil Cross, this will tell you the drawing power of Kirk. Lauren and Phil Cross put together a concert last year just to kind of honor the songs that Kirk had written. Now, Kirk had a vocal surgery several years ago that just caused something with his vocal cords. He can still talk, but he hasn't been able to sing for a good number of years. And that night, God did something that was just mind-blowing. First of all, everybody knew Kirk wasn't going to be able to sing. He packed the house. It was wall-to-wall people, knowing he wasn't going to sing. Wall-to-wall people, well, he sat down at the piano, and I think it was Lauren, just said, Kirk, do you mind, will you just try to sing a verse of, what was that, Lauren? Which song was that?
It was It's Here. And
yes.
What Kirk did not know is that I had been praying for 6 months prior to that concert that God would touch his voice that night and somehow enable him to sing, even if it was just a little bit. I was like, I don't care if it's a note. I don't care if it's a whole song. Doesn't matter. But could he just sing something? Would you please allow that? Thank you. And, you know, I didn't know if God would say yes to that prayer. Sometimes he chooses not to, and that's fine. His ways are higher than ours. But Kirk opened his mouth that night and sang, I sense an awesome moving of the Holy Spirit. And the place came apart.
Oh, yeah, you felt it. I mean,
it was so incredibly special. And he was even able to go on and sing the second verse and finish the song. And I will never, ever forget that as long as I live, because God just chose to display his power at that moment. Now, Kirk does not sing now. Yeah. He has not sung since then. Yeah. And but God just chose to do it in that moment. And
well, it kind of felt like that night. I told somebody after it happened, I said, it just kind of felt like God was honoring the Talley family's dedication to his work that night. That's what it felt like.
Maybe so. If that's the case, I'm thankful for it. I choose to think that God's reminding all of us that it ain't about us; it's about Him.
Yeah.
And when we honor Him, He will bless us in some way in return. And you know, He might choose to bless us in a way that we don't expect. He might choose to bless us in a way that nobody ever sees, and that's okay too. The longer I do this, I've had a long career, even though I'm not that old. But even though, you know, I'm still a young woman, I've been at this a long time. And the longer I go, I just have seen God do amazing things, and all I want now is just for Him to be honored in what we do, what I do, and if He wants me to stand up there on stage and not sing anything, that's okay too. Yeah. I just want Him to be honored and to do what He wants me to do, and I know if I just do the next thing He tells me to do, it'll all turn out okay. Yeah. That being said, I am planning on singing when I come to Callaway.
Well, that's good. Well, we're looking forward to being blessed when you're here and singing on Saturday and Sunday. Been great visiting with you, Lauren. We thank you for taking some time to visit with us here today, and we can't wait to meet you in person and see you this weekend.
You were asking how I met Lauren?
Yeah.
She was hitchhiking.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh. I was going to say, this is a great story.
You're supposed to be a man of God.
But honestly, though, I don't remember a time that I didn't know Lauren Talley.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
Now, listen, before I come all this way out there, you should know that I am a Tennessee Vol, and I know y'all are Cornhuskers, but that don't bother anybody.
Well, Lauren, there used to be a time there when
we
would, but it's been kind of rough being a Cornhusker fan the last few years, so don't you worry about it.
You'll be all right.
Yeah, you'll be accepted, trust me.
Just let her know if she wears a Tennessee Vol shirt out here, though, we're not responsible for the fact her body will probably never show up and end up in a cornfield somewhere.
I understand that.
Hey,
y'all can adopt the Tennessee fans' favorite phrase, there's always next year.
That's
right. That's right.
Before you go, Lauren, I have just one more quick question. Maybe this is a loaded question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you have a favorite song that you like to sing?
Oh, gosh. It changes every night.
Rocky Top.
It's like asking a parent who their favorite kid is.
Yeah.
One song that I'm really singing a lot right now, because of the Easter season, of course, but I sing it just about every night, is a song that I've recorded on my latest album called Thank You, Jesus, for the Blood. Yeah. And I will definitely sing that when I come to Callaway. So I would say that one's right up there close to the top.
Good.
I'm going to put her on the spot real quick. Hey, sing a verse in the chorus, at least sing the chorus of Rocky Top for us.
Wish that I was on a Rocky Top down in the Tennessee hills. Ain't no smart smoke on a Rocky Top, ain't no telephone bill. Amen.
There she goes. Boy, we're having church right here on this country music radio station.
Lauren, thanks so much. We appreciate it. Look forward to having you here in Callaway and Custer County, and appreciate your time. I'm sure you have other things you need to be doing, getting ready for your show. So thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Sorry for getting you out of bed.
It's all good.
See
y'all soon.
All right, take care. All right, great conversation. And yes, you're right, Mike. You feel like you've known her for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Just over the phone.
And the good thing is Lauren is the same way on stage. She's very relaxed, very communicative with the people. She just goes over well because exactly what you heard in the interview, that's how she is if she's in front of 100 people, 1,000 people, or 100,000 people. She's exactly what you just got on the radio. So it's going to be fun. You don't know what is going to happen with Lauren, so it's going to be a blast.
Good.
Plus all the other guests that you have on the show bill there. It's going to be quite a couple days.
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
And it's been nice getting to know you, too,
absolutely.
Mike. Appreciate it. I do have one pulled up here from the Talley Trio. His Life for Mine is the name of the song. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that.
Oh, absolutely. Do we want to give away tickets before I go today?
I thought what we would do, if this works for you, during this song, I'll have Kristen out front write down the names of the folks who call in who want tickets. So that work?
Perfect. That'd be perfect. I'll just leave them here. If they want them, they can come and pick them up.
I got a feeling Brent's going to nab one.
Hey, give them away. I want a crowd. I don't worry about the sales. I want a crowd.
All right. Good luck, and thanks a lot.
Hey, thank you for
Appreciate
having
it. And here's that selection for you this morning to conclude. Do we have everything done, Brent?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think we've got all the business taken care of.
All right. So we're going to conclude the show with the Talley Trio, His Life for Mine. During the song, call 872-2801 and just ask to have your name put on the ticket, 872-2801.
Thank you so much. I had a lot of requests to repeat this song again.